Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and I'll take you through the top 50 stories of the day. Let's begin. Let's begin with political developments in Thailand. The Pheu Thai party has accepted defeat, becoming the runner-up. The party's prime ministerial candidate voiced her disappointment but promised to support the Move Forward party. This has paved the way for a Move Forward party victory. Its leader has been in contact with 5 other parties to form a coalition. Thai voters have rejected military-backed parties. In Turkey, 99% of ballot boxes have been opened. President Erdogan has received over 49% of the votes. His political rival Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu won almost 45%. A runoff between the two candidates is looking increasingly likely. This comes as neither of the two has been able to reach the 50% mark required to win the presidential race. The head of Russia's Wagner mercenary group has reportedly offered to reveal the positions of Russian troops to the Ukrainian government. The offer was supposed to have been made in January. The Wagner chief allegedly said that he would offer intel if Ukraine withdrew its soldiers from the city of Bakhmut. The Wagner group has been at the forefront of the battle in Bakhmut. Fighting in the city has been going on for months now. Ukraine reportedly rejected the Wagner chief's offer. France is all set to send armored vehicles and light tanks to Ukraine. This comes after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky paid a surprise visit to France. He met the French President Emmanuel Macron. Zelensky also recently secured $3 billion in aid from Germany. According to reports, Ukraine is likely to launch a major counter-offensive operation against Russian forces in the coming weeks. Zelensky has now arrived in the UK. He met British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. This came after Zelensky visited Italy, Germany and France. He's trying to garner military support for Ukraine ahead of the expected counteroffensive. Last week, the UK became the first country to supply Ukraine with long-range cruise missiles. G7 leaders are all set to target Russian energy and trade with new sanctions. Leaders from the G7 countries are set to meet in Japan this week. The new measures will seek to undermine Russia's future energy production and curb trade. The countries want to make it harder for Moscow to find gaps in sanctions. Pakistan is bracing for another tense day due to planned protests. Protests have been planned by the Pakistan Democratic Movement. They will be held outside the Pakistan Supreme Court premises. The protests are against the court's alleged partiality towards former Prime Minister Imran Khan. The demonstrations will be held in Islamabad's Red Zone. The country's interior minister has asked the protest organizers to change the venue. Former Pakistani PM Imran Khan has leveled new allegations. He claims that the country's military has planned to keep him in jail for the next 10 years under sedition charges. He said, and I quote, "The complete Lahore plan is out and it is to humiliate me." Khan made these allegations after he held a meeting with his PTI party leaders at his Lahore residence. A rocket was launched from the Gaza Strip into southern Israel on Sunday evening. The incident broke the calm that was restored by a ceasefire. However, the ceasefire largely holds. Tensions escalated between Israel and Palestine last week. This came after Israeli strikes killed top commanders from the Palestinian Islamic Jihad or PIJ group. The president of the African nation of Eritrea arrived in Beijing on Sunday. The visit comes at the invitation of the Chinese President Xi Jinping. The two leaders will hold talks with a focus on strategic partnerships. They will also exchange views on international and regional issues of mutual concern. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the establishment of bilateral ties between the two countries. According to the United Nations, more than 600 people have been killed due to the clashes in Sudan. Clashes between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces paramilitary group have been going on for a month. More than 900,000 people have been displaced since the conflict broke out on April 15th. Around 200,000 people have taken refuge in neighboring countries. Search operations continue in the Kenya starvation cult case. 22 more bodies have been discovered. With that, the death toll has risen to 201. According to autopsies, the deaths have been linked to starvation and asphyxiation. One more suspect has been arrested. The cult's leader, Paul Mackenzie, remains in police custody. In Mexico, a tractor trailer and a van crashed on a highway. At least 26 people have been killed in the incident. The two crashed vehicles caught on fire. Authorities rushed to the location of the accident but did not find the vehicle towing the trailer. All of the victims are thought to be from Mexico. In Canada, the province of Alberta is facing at least 87 active wildfires. 24 of them are considered out of control. And authorities say that the peak burning period is yet to come. The peak burning period is when the temperatures are at their highest and the natural foliage is at its driest. The state of emergency remains in place in Alberta. In New Zealand, the government has announced a flood and cyclone recovery package. It's worth over $600 million. The package is part of New Zealand's yearly budget. It covers infrastructure repair like the rebuilding of roads, railways and schools. It also aims to prepare for future weather events by investing in flood protection measures. In Myanmar, Cyclone Mocha slammed into the western coastal state of Rakhine. It had wind speeds of over 200 kilometers per hour. The cyclone brought heavy rains to the country. Myanmar issued its highest level red cyclone alert on Saturday. Mocha is said to be the strongest cyclone to have hit Myanmar in more than a decade. Flights to and from Rakhine remain suspended. Cyclone Mocha also made landfall in Bangladesh's Cox's Bazar. The cyclone brought down trees and damaged houses. Around 500 makeshift shelters housing Rohingya refugees were damaged. More than 700,000 people have been evacuated. Some scientists in the UK have said that they're struggling to deal with the abuse from climate crisis deniers on Twitter. This comes after the sacking of those who ensured trusted content was prioritized on the platform. Climate experts have said that they are now struggling to make themselves heard on climate crises, but they are met with a barrage of hateful and hostile comments. In the East African country of Kenya, 10 lions have been killed by herders. This includes one of the country's oldest lions. This is being seen as an escalated human-wildlife conflict that has worried the Kenyan government. Authorities and conservation groups introduced programs for herders whose livestock was eaten by wild animals. However, herders have also been losing livestock due to drought. A platypus has been reintroduced in Australia. This is one of Australia's most unique animal species. The platypus has been reintroduced in Australia's oldest national park as part of a major conservation project. The platypus disappeared from the area around half a century ago. UK-based British American Tobacco has appointed Tadeu Marroco as the Chief Executive Officer. Marroco is the current finance director at the company. He started working for the firm in 1992 and was appointed to the board in 2019. Marroco will replace Jack Bowles. Bowles is stepping down as the CEO after nearly 4 years. Chinese smartphone maker Oppo has said that it will shut down its chip design unit, Zeku. Oppo had set up Zeku in 2019. The company says that the shutdown comes as a result of uncertainties in the global economy and the smartphone industry. China's smartphone industry is reportedly struggling to recover from one of its worst slumps. Vietnamese shoemaker Po Nguyen, Vietnam, will reportedly lay off 6,000 workers at the end of next month. Po Nguyen, Vietnam, manufactures shoes for international brands like Nike and Adidas. It's one of the largest shoe manufacturers in the country. The company has blamed a slump in its orders and a weak macroeconomic situation for this move. Cryptocurrency exchange Binance is withdrawing from Canada. This comes after Canada issued a series of new guidelines for crypto exchanges. In recent months, Canada has tightened regulations for crypto trading platforms. This includes investor limits and mandatory registrations. Binance has said that it does not agree with Canada's latest guidance. The company added that it wishes to return to the Canadian market when conditions are more supportive. Financial giant HSBC has agreed to settle financial fraud charges by a US markets regulator. It has agreed to pay $75 million to settle the charges. The US Commodity Futures Trading Commission had charged the company for manipulative and deceptive trading. The company had also been charged for failing to maintain proper records. A former head of engineering at ByteDance in the US has said that the company has discharged him. He was reportedly discharged after notifying management about the illegal usage of users' data from other platforms. The company was allegedly taking users' content from other platforms like Instagram and Snapchat without their permission. ByteDance is the parent company of China-based video app TikTok. Brazil's Supreme Court has ordered an investigation into executives at Telegram and Google. The order comes after the tech firms campaigned against a bill on their platforms. The companies reportedly campaigned against Brazil's Internet Regulation Bill. The bill puts the onus of finding and reporting illegal material on Internet companies instead of leaving it to the courts. The US Transportation Department has reportedly been hit by a data breach. The breach has compromised the data of more than 230,000 federal government employees. This includes data of current as well as former employees. Reports say that it's still unclear if any of that information was used for criminal purposes. Reports suggest that Netflix is planning to cut its spending by $300 million in 2023. Managers have urged employees to be judicious with company-related spending, including new hiring. However, reports add that there will be no hiring freeze, nor will there be additional layoffs. Google has agreed to pay $8 million to settle claims by the Attorney General of the U.S. state of Texas. The Texas Attorney General, Ken Paxton, has accused the company of using deceptive advertisements to promote its Pixel 4 smartphone. Google allegedly hired radio announcers to give testimonials about Pixel 4 without allowing them to use one of the phone's variants. Moving on to sports, India bagged 3 bronze medals at this year's World Boxing Championships. Boxers Deepak Kumar, Mohammad Hasamuddin and Nishant Dev all lost in their respective semi-final bouts though. As per boxing regulations, they finished third on the podium. With 3 bronze medals, India finished 4th as the World Championships concluded in Uzbekistan's capital city Tashkent. In cricket, Pakistan appoints New Zealand's Grant Bradburn as the men's team head coach. The former Kiwi all-rounder will coach Pakistan for the next 2 years. Bradburn was in charge during Pakistan's recent home series win against New Zealand. Previously, he had served as Pakistan's fielding coach from 2018 to 2020. England's seamer James Anderson has suffered a groin injury while playing county cricket. The 40-year-old was carried off the field after straining his groin during a bowling run-up. As of now, Anderson has been ruled as doubtful for the Ashes series in June. Earlier, England's Jofra Archer was also ruled as doubtful for the Ashes with an elbow injury. In football, Chelsea have reached an agreement with Mauricio Pochettino for the manager's role. According to media reports, the Argentinian will take charge of Chelsea at the end of this season. Pochettino is known for his attacking style plays and fostering young talent. Fans are hoping Pochettino will revamp their side after a dismal season. Chelsea have lost 6 of their last 8 matches, leaving them 11th in the Premier League standings. On the other hand, Chelsea's women's squad have had a stellar season. Chelsea beat Manchester United 1-0 to win the Women's FA Cup yesterday. The match was played at London's Wembley Stadium. Forward Sam Kerr scored the winning goal for Chelsea. Over 77,000 fans filled the stands at Wembley, setting England's highest attendance record for a women's match. After yesterday's win, Chelsea have won 3 straight Women's FA Cup titles. Over 100 football fans were arrested by the Dutch police in the city of Rotterdam yesterday. Fans turned rowdy after their team, Feyenoord, beat go-ahead Eagles 3-0 to win the Dutch championship. Media reports indicate that fans were arrested for acts of vandalism and assaulting police officials. In basketball, the Los Angeles Lakers beat Golden State Warriors to 122-101 in playoffs. LeBron James posted 30 points with 9 rebounds and 9 assists for the Lakers. Warriors' shooter Stephen Curry was the game's highest scorer with 32 points. With the win, Lakers advanced to the Western Conference Finals, where they will face the Denver Nuggets. Meanwhile, Boston Celtics downed Philadelphia 76ers 112-88 in the NBA playoffs. Jason Tatum scored 51 points for Celtics in the blowout game. The Celtics will face Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. Boston will look to replicate last season's Conference Finals victory over Miami. In golf, former world number 1 Jason Day won a PGA title at Byron Nelson in Texas. The Australian won the tournament with a 9-under par and a score of 261. Meanwhile, South Korea's Kim Si-woo and America's Austin Eckroat finished tied at second place. Yesterday's win was Day's first win on the PGA Tour since 2018. More than 3,000 runners from 23 countries ran in Kyrgyzstan's Silk Road Marathon. The race was conducted on the shores of Lake Isykyl. Athletes ran around the banks of the lake with snow-capped peaks in the backdrop. The marathon was sponsored and conducted by members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. This was the SCO's 4th international Isykyl Silk Road Marathon. Blackpink has become the first K-pop band to have a music video cross 1.4 billion views on YouTube. The dance video for How You Like That is the most viewed dance practice video in K-pop history. Blackpink's other songs like Kill This Love, Boom Baya have also become the most watched K-pop videos on the platform. India's Geomami Film Festival will shine the spotlight on South Asian talent this year. The 10-day festival will showcase South Asian diaspora and international cinema. The festival will be held in Mumbai from the 27th of October to the 5th of November. Actor Samuel L. Jackson is set to play a disgraced White House chef in new drama film Last Meals. Jackson will play a chef who works at a maximum security prison, cooking last meals for inmates on death row. He will join actor Boyd Holbrook for the film. The 60th anniversary special teaser of sci-fi series Doctor Who is out. Actors David Tennant and Catherine Tate are shown to be reprising their roles. The trailer also teased a look of actor Neil Patrick Harris. The 3 new episode titles are also announced, namely The Star Beast, Wild Blue Yonder, and The Giggle. The world's first Jumanji-inspired theme park has opened in the UK. The World of Jumanji theme park has 3 rides based on the fantasy film. Interactive activities and a food stand selling Jumanji cupcakes are also part of the theme park. Actor Javier Bardem is set to receive the Donozia Award at the San Sebastian International Film Festival. Bardem is being honored for career achievement after being in the industry for over 3 decades. The awards will take place between the 22nd and the 30th of September in San Sebastian in Spain. Actors Kate Winslet and Ben Whishaw were the top winners at the BAFTA Awards last evening. Winslet won the award for leading actress for her role in drama series I Am Ruth. Meanwhile, Whishaw won the leading actor award for the autobiographical drama This Is Going to Hurt. Among the shows that received BAFTAs were I Am Ruth, Bad Sisters, and Derry Girls. BAFTA award-winning producer Sharon Hogan has extended her support to the Writers Guild of America strike. While receiving her BAFTA last evening, Hogan said that it all begins and ends with the writers. She added that all her projects in the US are on hold due to the strike. The 34th Annual GLAAD Media Awards doubled as a show of solidarity for the WGA strike. GLAAD's Director of Transgender Representation said that they support fair pay and fair working conditions. Meanwhile, writer Joel Kim Booster said that labor issues are queer issues. GLAAD is a widely used acronym for the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation of the US. GLAAD Media Awards honor media for its representation of the LGBTQ community. The 76th Annual Tony Awards will not be televised as the WGA has denied a strike waiver request from the show's producers. Actor Ariana DeBose, who was set to host the awards, is likely to cancel if the strike continues. The 2023 Tony Awards are set to take place on the 11th of June in New York. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to First Post.